A letter to TYT owner, staff, and volunteers. We are sorry to say that we are resigning from providing TYT with our unpaid labor. We have had agreed to moderate for a strong progressive channel who had strong core values. Over the past year, hosts, mostly on the main show, have allowed their core values to slip, making us question whether they even have those as values. Some specific ones include every action we take is to support our mission. We participate with a positive and productive attitude. We are inclusive. We lead by example. We participate in constructive communication. We check our ego at the door, and we act with dignity. First point. Every action we take is to support our mission. The mission is to boldly pursue the truth, challenge the establishment, and to drive positive change. We fail to see how bad-mouthing and insulting and belittling the unhoused helps to drive any form of positive change or how it challenges the establishment. Corporate media and the wealthy look down on the unhoused, and Anna's anti-homeless rant is in direct support of that mission. Failure to provide any ideas on how to help that don't include barbaric measures, only dogpiling onto the problems that the unhoused have across the nation by furthering negative stereotypes is the opposite of positive change for that community. Point two, we participate with a positive and productive attitude. Failure to learn from one another and having an understanding attitude is what leads to issues like Anna's recent transphobic remarks and her birthing person meltdown. She is refusing to learn from the immense pushback from the community and former fellow hosts such as Benny Carrillo and Sandy Lovas. These positive hosts who help others outside of those communities understand and gain more insight to leave the network pushes the audience by taking away that knowledge and life experiences. Point three, we are inclusive. How can one be inclusive if they fail to learn from the mistakes, apologize for the lack of knowledge, and grow as a person? Anna clearly stated during an interview on another show, I'm uncomfortable with talking with non-white people. That is the least inclusive statement we have ever heard. Core tenets of progressive politics include fighting for the oppressed, especially when it is unpopular. We act based on values, not on what polls say. It is incredibly harmful to marginalized groups like non-binary folks to not be included in the language that directly affects them. This is inherently regressive and exclusionary. Point four, we lead by example. While moderating, all of us have had to get the chat under control over statements made by the hosts. This tends to happen on the main show more than any other TYT live chat. The hosts make comments that are exclusive, sexist, racist, transphobic. With TYT being such a large platform and having such a far reach, these toxic statements and views are heard by the viewers, who start to believe them. It continues to perpetuate harmful stereotypes and pushes the network to the right, not the left. We understand that not everyone will be in the same space, and we need to meet people where they're at. How can we meet someone who doesn't want us to meet them, but just wants to pull us towards them? This has been making the network exclusionary to fellow leftists and those who are dipping their toe into the progressive sphere. There's a worry about the main show host being stuck in their own echo chamber to the point that they can no longer lead by example. We participate in constructive communication. We work to actively spread mutual respect and to dampen aggression and distrust. We work outwardly and cohesively, not inwardly and divisively. We need diversity in our community and strive for it. I understand wanting to be an ally, but if you don't listen to those from the community you're trying to ally yourself with and try to understand why what you said was hurtful or wrong, and that it is on them for refusing to participate in those conversations that need to happen to promote growth and to help spread those values. We check our ego at the door. There seems to be a serious ego problem with Cenk and Anna on the main show. whether neither is able to check their ego and allow themselves to be wrong or even be able to confront the possibility of them being wrong. Within 3 months, Anna went from not having an issue with trans people to saying that they're uppity. She has been in the media long enough to know that it is hard to believe that she just got swayed by someone else's talking points. Despite this and the pushback, she gave the saddest non apology that was only lacking a ukulele and placed blame on Twitter, saying that people pushed Benny to quit. None of us have ever seen anyone talking about Benny leaving or needing to leave due to transphobia. Anna is refusing to take responsibility for her own actions and statements. We act with dignity. Refusing to own up to your own actions, statements, and the shows you go on and the topics you discuss is a lack of dignity. If you want to go on another's podcast and state that you don't like being around or talking to anyone who isn't white, but refuse to say it on your own show, then you have no dignity and don't care about the communities you're talking about. We'd like to thank you for understanding, and we hope that this will help wake up either the hosts or the chat to these right-wing talking points and the hatred that is currently being spewed on the main show. Duly signed YouTube moderators Whitingale, Lindsay Robb, Adrian Vixen, myself, Roller Dragon, Goddess Four Winds, Orbzilla, Zero PE, John Ross, and Spectrophonic. Thank you.